My team stand up! YouTube drama. Basically what it is. Now, in all honesty, I thought this was just one of those entertainment things that has to do with, you know, like DDG, you know what I'm saying, arrest. And I actually find that stuff actually hilarious, by the way. I support that. But this actually seems real. And I don't know, I just never seen a video 52 minutes. We have to see what is so, like, 52 minutes, bro. Like, I had tons of people link this to me, like, I gotta react to this. I was gonna react to it on a live stream. I was like, bro, I might as well just make it an actual vid, you know what I'm saying? Because, bro, 52 minutes. Now, I don't know exactly who it has to deal with, but I know from the back part of what people have told me, it has to do with DDG. Before I even begin, there's no sides being chosen, by the way. This is just 100% neutral. It's just 100% just me looking, seeing how this was 52 minutes. But we're gonna see Flight Crew. This is the full story. Chandler, Alexis. Let's get it.
Before I start this video, I want to make a disclaimer. For one, this video is only going to be up for a week. I don't think drama like this needs to be on my channel because, like I said in prior videos, I'm trying to be more positive.
You said for a week? 52? No, there's no possible. Bro, if I'm doing a video past 25 minutes, that is staying on my channel.
And drama free, and this is not the kind of video that represents that saying, you know what I mean? And number two, the comments are going to be closed because after you guys hear the full story, I don't want no one to say who I'm talking about for the names I don't mention. I don't want y'all to give hate to anybody. Like, that's not my intentions at all. I just want you guys to know the truth. That's the only reason I'm doing this video. What's up, guys? It's Chandler, Alexis, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm not even gonna talk much in the video. I'm just gonna get into this video because I am so over people spreading so many lies and saying so many things about me, but they don't want to say anything about themselves. So I'm first going to start off with saying this video was supposed to be mainly an apology video for my behavior on social media, and I was going to just leave it at that. Just apologize for my wrongs, ignore other people's wrongs, because at the end of the day, karma bites everyone in the ass. And that was going to be the video. But I've recently watched a couple people's videos, and I've noticed a pattern in what I'm seeing. I've noticed that people want to play victim in all their videos and not own up for the bullshit that they've caused and the trouble that they've caused, and just put all the blame on me. And usually I'm like, whatever, I can ignore it. I can even let you blame things on me. But when multiple people try to blame their situations and their personal issues on me, that's when it becomes an issue. So I'm still gonna keep the apology. I'm gonna start off with that. I would like to apologize for the way I acted on social media. As most of you guys know, I went on Instagram Live and I called Selena a hoe. I went on live and I was just pissed off.
Oh man!
Calling her hoe. I said that she's been everywhere. Disclaimer, I did not lie about anything I said, but I should not have called her a hoe. Whether she decides to spread her legs for one guy or 3 guys or 5 is totally up to her. And, you know, power to you for having the courage to do that. That's not my problem, you know what I mean? That was not, I was wrong for that. I was definitely wrong for that, because it's not my place to tell anyone how they should or should not act or what they should or should not do. So I definitely did not handle the situation how I should have, and I really do apologize for that. And you know, from now on, I'm definitely going to be careful with how I say things and how I portray myself on social media as well. With that being said, I'm going to start with this little, so we're going to go into like a little story time, okay? Me and Selena have been friends for 7 years on and off. Now let me clarify, because a lot of people think that we have been best friends for 7 years on and off. That is not true at all. Throughout high school, we barely were even close. Like, we barely talked. The only time we saw each other was with our families. So no, she has not been my best friend for 7 years. I would say she's been my best friend for maybe like 2 or 3 years, which is still a pretty good amount of time. The 2 or 3 years that we have been really close, it's been on and off, because in the past, Selena has been known to do a lot of shit that I'm not okay with, which you guys have heard of in the past. I'm not even gonna go through it, but just know that I'm always the one who stops being friends with Selena. Selena ends up sending me text messages apologizing for her actions. I forgive, but I don't forget. We become friends again, and so on and so forth. The next point I want to make is, a lot of you guys saw my Instagram Live where I called Selena a hoe. Keep in mind, On Instagram, I have 100,000 followers. 100,000. On Instagram, Selena has like 20,000, I think, maybe. I'm not sure. 20,000. So 20,000 compared to my 100,000. Obviously, my Instagram live is gonna pop off like that. Like, it's gonna pop off more than hers ever would because she has 20,000. So, a lot of you guys did not know that Selena and her friend went on Instagram live earlier that night and was talking shit about me. But we're gonna pause the story here, okay? Disclaimer though, before I start the story, I'm going to be airing out a lot of shit, and I don't want people to think I'm like exposing people or I'm doing this just to expose people. I'm not. I'm doing this because, like I said, people always want to air out my business and they want to air out things that I've done, but they can't take responsibility for the things that they've done. So I need to let you guys know the full truth, because to be honest, if I were you guys and I only saw what people are saying, I would believe them too, because they're making it seem like I just lash out at everyone and I do this shit for fun. But no, I'm a reactor. You do something to me, I react. And obviously people don't want to explain what I'm reacting to. They don't want to take responsibility for what they're doing. So I'm going to be airing out a lot of stuff. If I do happen to air out some shit that you've done and you don't like it, then you shouldn't have done it. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, snap. Okay. Basically, she's just going to be just spitting everything out like hot lava. Okay, so get your popcorn ready, y'all.
I first brought Selena around the crew. Selena had 3 days off from work. She works a 9-to-5 job, and she had 3 days off. So with those days off, I decided to go to LA because I needed to film some videos, do some collabs. So I said, you should come with. So she was like, all right, I'm down. Selena came with me to LA, and we stayed at Daryl's house, Pontiac Midi DG. We stayed at his house for 3 days. Let's just say, long story short, the first night that we were there, I was sleeping on the couch. I wake up and Selena's not on the couch with me. She's not in the guest room, and the door to Daryl's room is locked. Who knows what happened in there? I was not in there. Well, I do know what happens because she tells me later, which I'll get into the story. But at this moment, who knows what happens in there? Obviously, I'm gonna be like, I know what you guys did. Like, I'm not stupid. Nobody would be stupid enough to be like, yeah, you guys just slept or whatever. But they can say what they want to say. Like I said, I was not in the room. I was on the couch. Day 2 at DDG's house, I go to Arizona's house, which you guys will see. You guys can look at the vlogs. I went to Arizona's house. Now, me and Arizona have like a flirty relationship, but we have never ever hooked up. Never gotten to that point. And when I came back the next night, by the way, not sure where Selena slept that night, because when I came back the next morning, she was not in bed. She came to get the doors. She came and got me, blah, blah. So I don't know where she slept that night. But I told Selena that I did not have sex with him, because obviously I had hickeys on my neck. So she was like, oh, like, what'd you do? Like, what happened? I told her, me and him did not hook up. I'm not like that. Like, I've hung out with this boy 2 or 3 times, like, in person. I'm not like that. Like, I'm sorry. Like, obviously I've had my one-night stands before or whatever, but that was in the past. It's college days. I'm not like that anymore. So I let her know, like, no, I did not hook up with him. Like, thank God I didn't. That's just not the kind of thing I want to be known for. It's not what I do. By the way, as I'm telling Selena the story, I noticed that she also has a bunch of hickeys around her neck, and I obviously have seen the little chemistry that her and DDG have. Like, they flirt all the time, on camera and off camera. By the way, I want to mention, all of this is the off camera stuff that you guys don't see, not the on camera. I'm not judging anyone off of the on camera. This was all off camera stuff. So I noticed she has hickeys all over her neck. These are not from videos. These are not from no pranks. These are like hickeys that she got from doing something else with someone else. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, I see, like, you did that. Like, what did you do last night? She proceeds to tell me, like, nothing happened. Like, we didn't hook up either. Like, no, I didn't have sex. I'm like, okay, all right. Like,
so who's gonna admit it?
Day 3 comes, and Selena and Daryl go to a birthday party. I did not go. I stayed at Daryl's house in the guest room. I fell asleep. I did not go to this party. Sorry, my camera died. Okay, so moving on. I wake up the next morning, and I'm calling Selena and Daryl to find out where they are, like, because they went to this party. They had called me at night talking about let's go out, but I fell asleep, like, so I'm not sure where they were. So I called them thinking, like, maybe they're at a friend's house, because, by the way, I walked downstairs and there was no one downstairs, but the door to Daryl's room was closed. Keep in mind, it was closed when they left too, so I'm not the type of person, I'm not just gonna walk in and be like, are you guys home? You know what I mean? So I called her and texted her, like, where are you? No answer. I called him, no answer. And then about 30 minutes later, I'm just like laying in bed, like waiting for someone to answer. Because keep in mind, they're adults. If they're out and they fell asleep at a friend's house, like, okay, I just want to make sure that they're safe, you know what I mean? So 30 minutes go by, and Selena comes walking out of Daryl's room. And I'm just like, okay, like, all right, like, okay, whatever. It's time for us to leave and go back to San Diego. This is the end of our trip to LA. It's time to go back. On our way back, in the car, Selena tells me that she lied to me and that more things happened than what she told me. Obviously, use your imagination to figure out what happened during that trip. She tells me that she regrets everything that she did. She tells me she's not even attracted to this person. They're not her type. If this was back in San Diego, she would not be like this. Like, she's telling me she needs to go to church because this stuff is not okay. Like, she can't believe she did this stuff. But basically just complaining about her actions to me the entire ride home, which kind of annoys me because I feel like we're all adults. You should know what you're doing, and if you feel like you're going to regret something, then you shouldn't have done it in the first place. And if you did do it, you shouldn't be complaining about it afterwards because you decided to do it. That's your fault, your choice. Deal with it. Life goes on, you know what I mean? But she complains, blah, blah, and I'm just like, okay, well, if that's how you feel, don't let it happen again, you know? Move on with life. That's just how I am. Like, accept that it happened, accept that what you did was wrong for you, like, it's not someone you want to be, and just grow from that and move on. So she's like, all right, whatever. All right, so fast forward a week to VidCon. I was invited to go to VidCon by my management, so I had a ticket, and I invited Selena to come with me. Keep in mind, we didn't have a ticket for her yet, but I was like figuring, like, I'll figure out something. We'll figure out something when we get there. McQueen had an extra ticket, so he gave it to her. So she's taken care of for VidCon. She has a pass to be on the premises of VidCon. However, where all the creators are, where all the YouTubers are, it's in this hotel. You have to have a certain wristband to be there. In order to go to all the parties, you have to have certain wristbands to get into the parties. So my manager gave me all these wristbands. Like, I was taken care of for the parties. I didn't have to finesse, nothing. But Selena didn't have any wristbands. So I asked my manager if she could get wristbands for Selena. So my manager pulls some strings and she gets all these wristbands for Selena. But keep in mind, like I said, Selena is with me. She is my guest to this venue. She's my +1. That's what she is on all my party lists. Like, she's my +1. She's not there as a solo creator. Fast forward to later the night of the first night. Me and all the girls are hanging out in the hotel room and we have this long talk where one of the girls mentions that she doesn't want to be in anyone's vlogs. She says it's making her look a certain way that she's not, and she doesn't like it. She doesn't want to be in the vlogs anymore, is what she says to us. Selena agrees with her and says, yeah, I don't like this either. Like, I don't want to be in the vlogs. Like, I don't like it. So the first girl says, like, I'm going to say something to the boys tomorrow. Like, I'm going to let them know I don't want to be in the vlogs anymore. And Selena says, yeah, I'm going to do the same. Like, I agree. The next day comes, the girl tells everyone, like, I don't want to be in your vlogs. And Selena is sitting 2 feet away from her. Selena's quiet. Selena does not say anything. Selena continues to be in the vlogs, and she continues to be the main clickbaiting titles of almost everyone's vlogs. It stays that way, nothing changes. So I'm looking at this like, I see you. I see how you are. You say one thing to our faces, but you go and you say another to other people's faces. Second day at nighttime, we all went to a club. Now, at this club, everyone's chilling, hanging out, whatever. People are dancing. Disclaimer, just so you guys know, I don't think you're a hoe just because you dance with multiple people. It's dancing. I dance with multiple people. I pretty much dance with every YouTuber that I've ever met at one point. Like, it's dancing. There's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like you're labeling yourself as certain things when you are flirting and taking things to another level with different people, if that makes sense. Like I said, once again, use your imagination of what I'm saying. And that's exactly what Selena was doing. And keep in mind, me and Selena have been friends for a while, like I mentioned in the beginning. We talk. And we have always said to each other, like, we don't like those type of girls who have hoe antics, who act like hoes, who are all over different boys at different moments of time, who bounce from homie to homie to homie, who fuck with the whole crew, you know what I mean? Like, we've talked about this. And she's the same way. She's like, oh my gosh, this kind of girl's disgusting, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm peeping what Selena's doing, and I'm like, you're acting just how you were acting the last week, and you said you regretted it, but now you're doing the same thing again. Just this time, she had a good memory too. Multiple guys, not just one. So I peep it, but I'm like, you know what? She's grown. She can do whatever the fuck she wants to do. I'm not gonna say nothing yet. Later that night, we went to another YouTuber's hotel room. We were all eating food. We were all chilling. Keep in mind, there's a bunch of us in this room, including one of the guys that Selena messed with is in the room. When all of a sudden, a different boy decides to start filling up on Selena. Flirting turns into touching, touching turns into sucking her toes. Keep in mind, everyone is in the room and he's sucking her toes. Like, he did not give a fuck that we were in the room, which kind of made me laugh. I thought this shit was hilarious. And then he starts kissing on her neck. And at this point, it's like, are y'all about to do some porn in front of me or what? Like, I'm about to dip. This is my cue to go. Y'all are adults. I don't need to be here. None of these people who are in here need to be here. So they all left. Like, they all left. Me, the only people that was left was me, the one sucking the toes, Selena, and then another YouTuber. So I told the other YouTuber, like, I think that's our cue to go. Like, let's go. Me and the other YouTuber, we dipped. We go to his hotel room, and me and the other YouTuber, we're just talking while Selena is up in this hotel room with the YouTuber that I mentioned before. Who knows what they were doing in there? I don't know. I wasn't there. All I saw was the sucking toes and kissing on her neck. That's all I visually saw and all I was there for. I need names. YouTuber A. Me and YouTuber A are in here talking when Selena and YouTuber B come knocking on the door. They knock on the door and Selena is just like, Chandler, like, where'd you go? Like, why'd you leave? And I'm like, what do you mean, why did I leave? Like, I didn't want to be there. That's awkward as hell. Like, what are you talking about? Why did I leave? I'm not going to stay there. She was like, I don't want to be there. Keep in mind, the YouTuber B is standing right next to her. So she's basically saying she didn't want to be with him, but he's standing right next to her. So she's just like, I don't want to be there. Like, giving me signals like, no, 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 no. Keep in mind, me and YouTuber A were having a deep conversation about some stuff. So I said to Selena and YouTuber B, can y'all wait outside real quick while we finish this conversation? Like 10 minutes. Give us 10 minutes and you can come back in. There's like a little waiting area outside the hotel that we were in where you can like sit. There's chairs and a table. You can sit there. So I said, just wait out there. And she was like, okay. What me and YouTuber A were talking about, I wanted to make sure no one was listening. So I opened the door to see how close they are because I had a feel. I felt like they would be like listening at the door or something. So I just wanted to make sure that they weren't. So I opened up the door to see if they're sitting where I told them like, go wait. I open up the door and I peep Selena and YouTuber B walking back upstairs to YouTuber B's hotel room. So I'm just like, in my head, I'm thinking if you didn't want to be with him, you would have sat outside, but apparently maybe you sending mixed signals or something, I don't know, but you went back up to the room with him. So that was your choice. You're a grown adult. Obviously, I'm still peeping that she's doing this shit and it's not cute. To me, it's not a look, and this stuff is the stuff she said she didn't want to look like, but again, you're a grown adult. Do whatever the hell you want to do. I do not care. So eventually, me and YouTuber A finish our conversation, and Selena comes back with a different YouTuber guy, but he was like locked out of his hotel, I guess, so he came back with her. And I ended up falling asleep on McQueen's bed. Keep in mind, McQueen, that whole night, we did not know where he was. He was MIA. So I ended up falling asleep on McQueen's bed, and the YouTuber Selena had walked in with, which is a whole different YouTuber, it's YouTuber C. YouTuber C, who was locked out, ended up falling asleep on the bed with me as well, but I was under covers, he was on top. Nothing happened with us. Like, there's never ever been anything with us. And then I wake up in the morning and I peep Selena and YouTuber A cuddling in the bed. In my head, I'm just thinking, this girl is doing exactly what she preaches she doesn't like. She was just last night letting one YouTuber suck on her toes and kiss on her neck, and now she's sleeping and she was cuddling in bed with a different YouTuber. I peeped this, and it's like, at this point, I'm kind of getting to a point where you're annoying me. If that's how you're gonna be, I don't like those type of people, I'm sorry. So it's just like, I'm peeping this and I'm just like, you're getting on my nerves just a little bit. So that morning, I don't say anything about it to her. I'm still keeping my mouth shut, but I'm, like I said, I'm peeping what you're doing. Me and Selena end up going back to our hotel because we had spent the night in YouTuber A's hotel, so we didn't have clothes, like we were still in the same clothes. So we went back to our hotel. We're all just chilling. It's me and the girls who stayed in the room with us. There's 4 girls, me, Selena, and then 2 other girls. So we're all just in there and we're like changing, getting ready, blah, blah, and we start talking. We're all talking about like where we were last night. Obviously they're gonna be like, where were you guys last night? We're like, oh, we fell asleep here, blah, blah. But then Selena brings up the conversation that McQueen never came back to his hotel room. Because keep in mind, I fell asleep in McQueen's bed with that other YouTuber. Like, McQueen was nowhere in the room, but we were in his bed, so like he wasn't there. So Selena brings up the topic that McQueen never came back to his hotel room. I'm on my phone and I notice that McQueen has a Instagram story up. So I watch it and we see that the night before, McQueen was standing in line with this girl who we're gonna name her, we're just gonna call her A. You know, like A from Pretty Little Liars, like we're gonna call her A. So McQueen was standing in a drive-through lane with A. His whole Instagram story is him with A. So A has her own hotel room. So Selena brings up the point that earlier that night, like at the club, A and McQueen have been flirting. So she's like, it was McQueen's birthday last night. You know, they probably were, you know,
happy belated birthday,
doing
McQueen.
the dirty, the nasty in the hotel room. Selena is the one who said that, not me. Pause in this part of the story. I know there was a video made, and in it claimed that Shalom had told A that I had said that about her. That is completely false. Shalom stays out of all drama, and I want to make sure she clear her name, because she's not that type of person to start rumors or spread rumors. So that part of their video where they tried to say that Shalom said it to them is so false. On I don't even know why they even tried to bring her into it, but I'm gonna call her.
I'm just still like shocked that my name is actually included in this, because I'm like, what? I've never had a conversation with this person at all. So it's just funny to me that this person feels I felt so comfortable enough to come to them and say that you said this about them, you know. But I didn't hear have a conversation with her where I was like, oh, Chandler said that you did this to this person. It's like, what?
Yeah, so so that clarifies. Shalom did not say anything to anyone about any conversation. That's a lie, and I just want to make sure Shalom's name was cleared. Like, on my behalf, I want to make sure Shalom's name was cleared on that, because she's not the type of person. You're welcome. Like, you're not the type of person to go and spread rumors or even talk. Like, even if you heard something, you're not the type to go and be like, oh, guess what I heard, blah blah blah. Like, you're not like that. I do not care who's sucking whose dick, who's fucking who, that's not, I do not care about that kind of stuff. Like, I don't have time to talk about that kind of stuff. Obviously, if I don't care enough about what Selena's doing with guys, why would I care about this random girl who I've met one time before this, like, what she's doing? You know what I mean? Those aren't my priorities. That's not my worries. So I just want to clarify that I never said anything about this girl. Selena was the one who said it. And on top of that, I like to mention, if I have something to say about someone, I let them know it to their face, you know what I mean? So that was the conversation. We're just like, oh yeah, maybe they were together, like whatever, but we moved on with the conversation to something else. Topic changed. Later on that day, me, McQueen, Selena, and 3 other YouTubers who I'm not going to mention their names because they don't have a part in the story, they're just there, we all decided to go back to the VidCon convention. So we get on the shuttle and we go to VidCon, and I just noticed that Selena is very talkative with McQueen, which maybe they're just friends or whatever, but I don't know, I feel like you can kind of feel a vibe in the air, which maybe I was wrong, maybe I'm wrong about their little vibe, but I felt a little vibe. So I was hanging out with one of the girl YouTubers who came with us, so we're just talking. We're walking around this convention, and eventually we noticed that Selena and McQueen are nowhere to be found. Like, they just left us. Keep in mind, we all came as a group, so usually when you come as a group, you stay as a group. Also, you came to VidCon with me, your friend, apparently your best friend. You would think you would hang out with me when you're there. And by that I mean, if someone invited me to go to a red carpet event with them, I wouldn't go with them and then halfway throughout the red carpet event just ditch them to go hang out with someone I barely know. You know what I mean? Like, that would be really messed up on my behalf, considering they got me there and I wouldn't be there without them, so why would I leave them? You know what I mean? But that's what happens. Selena and McQueen go missing. So that's what kind of pisses me off, and I'm just like, what is this girl doing? Eventually it gets time that we want to go back to the hotel that we're staying at, the Hyatt Hotel. So I call McQueen and Selena, like, where are you guys? Like, we're trying to find you so we can leave. And they were like, oh, we're standing in line for the Ferris wheel. So I walk to the Ferris wheel, and Selena and McQueen are standing in line. They're talking to some other YouTubers, and they're all just hanging out, blah, blah. Selena and McQueen were standing in line to get on the Ferris wheel, so I was standing right behind them. I'm like, you know what, I might as well get on again as well, because it is like a fun thing to do. As we're standing in line, I guess McQueen got into some sort of riff-raff with the lady. Now, there's a video of this. I'm not sure how many of you guys have seen it yet, but I'm going to put it here, so let me scoot over. McQueen uploaded a vlog where he shows us standing in line. However, if you pay closely attention, you'll notice that he cut off the beginning of the vlog, which means we didn't get to see what happened in the beginning. And I don't know why he cut off the beginning, but I'm guessing the beginning of the vlog was what started the whole argument with the lady in front of him.
Then go home.
Dead ass.
Bye.
How you doing?
I'm just taking your picture.
Oh, you like me? You like how I look?
No, I want to put it on the internet. What
Oh, for
you're
real?
doing in front of kids.
Oh, okay, cool. Make sure you tag my name.
How disgusting pervert you are.
Yeah.
Small children.
Yeah, tell them to follow Megan McQueen too. Megan McVlogs. Yeah. Thank you very much. Tell them to follow Megan
They
McVlogs.
look racist.
Thank you very much.
Tell them what a real pervert looks like.
Oh yeah, 6'2", blue hair,
Disgusting.
Snoop,
Cute as hell.
cute as hell.
Cute
You know
as
what I'm
hell.
saying? Cute as hell. You know what I'm saying?
If you want to be famous for being disgusting.
Oh, I do.
No, he's amazing.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Yo, we getting that good for today.
So now that you guys have seen the video, I'm gonna start saying a few things that I felt were wrong with this video. For number one, we don't see the beginning of the video, so I don't know how the argument started, as well as in person. I'm not sure how the argument started. I wasn't in the conversation because as Selena and McQueen are having this argument with this lady, I was taking a picture with one of you guys. I was taking a picture with a subscriber. As I'm taking this picture with a subscriber, I'm taking it, you know, when you take it, you stop talking, you're quiet. I'm smiling. And I hear next to me just arguing going on. So the moment I'm done with this picture, you can hear me in the background of McQueen's video saying, what happened? Like, what's going on? I'm asking Selena, what's going on? And as I'm saying this, she's making faces to this lady. And what you guys didn't see in the video, because McQueen wasn't recording this part, was I said to Selena, what did you say to her? And Selena said, nah, fuck that bitch. Keep in mind, the supporter who came to take a picture with me was still standing next to me as Selena says, fuck that bitch. I'm going to talk about that in a second, but my third issue was that I feel like us as social media kids, when we're in the public eye, we should hold ourselves to a certain standard, and that includes not arguing with people in public. This lady was with her child, and we're standing in line for a Ferris wheel. We're 20 years old. We shouldn't even be in line for a damn Ferris wheel, but we are. So that alone is a kid's place. We're in line for a kid's ride. We should make sure that our language is PG. That's just how I feel. It's kind of like when you're around your parents. When you're around your parents, you're not like, fuck this, bitch that, nigga this, nigga that. Like, it's not like that. Your language totally changes because it's like a kind of respect you should have when you're around certain people. You know what I mean? So like I said, we're in line for a kid's ride. Our language should be PG. So that was my issue. And the fact that when I asked Selena what was the issue, her response was, F that bitch, in front of one of my supporters. It's like, that is not a good look. As I'm talking to Selena, the lady felt so upset about the situation that she went and had security come over to us. So obviously I'm not in the situation, but I'm standing with them. If a subscriber sees, they know that it's me, McQueen, and Selena, like we're all together. We've been in videos together. They know we're a crew. So if security comes and is talking to McQueen, I'm obviously going to be associated with that kind of disturbance. At this point, I told them, like, this is not cool, this is embarrassing, like, this is not how I want to be seen, so I'm gonna leave. Like, I don't want to be around you guys because that's not cool. And I told Selena, and Selena just thought it was so funny. She kept laughing, and I'm just like, this is not funny to me. I walk away, and that's the end of that situation. When I leave them, I text Selena saying, bottom line, that was embarrassing as hell. So you can stay with McQueen for the day. My image is not something to mess around with, period. She then responds to me saying, Chandler, you're being rude as fuck. You weren't even there and don't know what was said. She was being rude. She's talking about the lady. She was being rude and coming for me and McQueen for no reason. I responded, it is what it is, ... Nothing that you say to me is going to matter. I don't like being seen in that kind of light, and if hanging out with you guys is going to make me look stupid, I'm not going to do it. You guys are being disrespectful. Later on that day, I'm still at the convention, and I get a phone call from one of my friends who says she's leaving, but she was like, dang, I wish I would have seen Fred. Keep in mind, when I left Selena and McQueen, I was with Fred, but I left Fred to go onto the second floor. So I'm on the second floor, Fred is on the first, but my friend says, like, bring him back to the hotel so I can say bye to him before I leave. So I was like, okay, cool. So I call up Fred, and I'm like, Fred, meet me at the bottom of the elevator, or escalator. Me, Fred, and a couple other YouTubers are hanging out in the hotel room. Selena, McQueen, and A walk into the hotel room later, and Selena and A are talking about they're gonna go do something. I think they were gonna go film a video or something, and McQueen was saying he's going with them or something. I don't know. They were going somewhere, but I needed to film a video, and my camera and stuff was in Selena's car. So I told Selena, I need my stuff out your car. She was like, okay, like we can go get it. So I told Fred, do you want to come? And Fred was like, yeah. So me, Selena, and Fred go. By the way, McQueen walked with a big bunch of group into the elevator before us, and then we were walking behind. So we get into the elevator, and McQueen is already talking to them about what happened, because I guess someone had asked, like, what happened, because they see it on McQueen's face, like, he had a stare, you know? And as I'm in the elevator, McQueen had said something like, nobody gives a fuck about your reputation. He was saying it to me. And I responded saying, well, you don't, but I do. Like, I was very calm in this situation, you know what I mean? I was not going off on McQueen. You guys can, I'll play the clip right now, actually.
Speech. Who gives a f? Is there a law that I can't have freedom of speech? Oh, of course you won't agree with her. Of course you won't. I'm just saying, my nigga, like, I can talk however the f I want whenever I want.
But it's just it's the principle.
It ain't no principle on nothing, my nigga. It's freedom of speech. That's the principle. Yeah, my nigga. I'm talking about fuck your reputation.
That's why I walked away because I didn't agree.
Yeah, I know. Fuck your reputation too. You can walk away, my nigga. I don't give a fuck about you or your reputation.
Exactly. That's why I walked away.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, this is
Chandler likes me.
good. Yes.
Yeah, you can suck to her too. You give a fuck about your reputation, my nigga. She gonna hit you up in 2 weeks talking about I don't know you either. Hi, I don't know you, Chandler.
As you guys just saw in that clip, like, I'm not yelling at him. I'm literally just standing there. And there was a lady next to me, and she goes, I agree with you, to me. She says to me, like, I agree with you. Like, you're right. And he starts yelling at her saying, oh, yeah, now you want to sign her, like, something. And I'm just like, stop going. Why are you going off on her now? Like, stop going off on people. Like, it's not cool. Like, as we get out the elevator, it's me, Selena, and Fred. We walk to Selena's car. And Selena starts saying, Chandler, you just need to know what happened. Like, you don't even understand what happened. And I tell Selena, I don't care. Like, I don't want to know what happened. Like, just drop it. Like, I really do not. Like, I just didn't want to speak to her. So I said, I just don't care. Like, I don't care. So she goes, Fred, you gotta listen to what happened. Like, listen, I just said, Selena, you're just doing the same thing. Like, he's right next to me. If you want to tell Fred, tell him later. But I don't want to hear this. So just stop. Like, you're dragging the situation on. I don't want to hear about it. Just stop. Eventually, we get to her car, and she's still trying to talk about the situation, and I go off on her. I literally start saying, what you did there was embarrassing to me. You came here with me to VidCon, so you're representing me as an image. Like, people see you in my videos, you're here with me. So when you're here with someone, you shouldn't be acting like that kind of way. I don't care what that lady said. That lady could have said, she doesn't fucking like you and like you're a fucking bitch. And you should have put a smile on your face and been like, well, that's your opinion. Hope you have a nice day. Because that's the kind of image you should have when you're in public in front of a bunch of people and you're...
That's something I have to pause and disagree with. If somebody talks to me like that, I'm gonna go right back at you. Like, I don't care who you are. Like, you know, it's just a certain level of like respect. And just certain things are just saying like, oh, hit you and you hit them back first. It's like the same thing with words too. They're hitting you with some harsh words. You got to hit them back, whether if it's words or whether if it's something else. You know what I'm saying? I just have
a known person. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you should represent yourself. And I said, do you think Beyonce cares if someone went up to Beyonce and was like, you're fucking ugly and you're a perv? Do you really think Beyonce would be like, oh my God, like, let me go off on you? No, because Beyonce has an image to protect. That goes for the same as us as social media kids when we're in public. And I feel like what you did was wrong. As I'm saying this, literally the entire time I'm talking, Selena is going, okay, Chandler, okay, Chandler, okay, Chandler, okay, Chandler. Like, I can't get a sentence out without her saying, okay, Chandler. And I found it completely rude and disrespectful that she was cutting me off while I was speaking. With that going on, I said, Selena, I don't know who the fuck you're talking to, because you wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for me. And by that I meant she would not be at VidCon if it weren't for me. Like I said, my manager is the one who put the wristbands on her wrist. So if it wasn't for that, she would not be here. I mean, she could have been in VidCon, but she would not be in the hotel that we're staying at if it weren't for me. She starts going on saying, I don't know why you're trying to argue, Chandler. And I said, I'm not trying to argue. I'm listing facts right now, Selena. You're irritating the shit out of me, and it's just, I don't know why you think you could just talk to me whatever type of way you think you could talk to me. Selena then proceeds to say, okay, well, I'm done with you then. And I said, okay, if you're gonna be done with me, you can give me back the wristbands that my manager gave to you, mine. And she goes, I don't know why you're taking it that far. I said, Selena, you just said you were done with me, so you can give me the wristbands back. She goes, Chandler, you're taking this too far. I said, okay, Selena, well, this is the issue. You can show up to the event tonight that is hosted by my management company, and I will have my manager waiting at the front door, and she will be ready to cut off your bracelet and embarrass you just how you guys embarrassed me when I was taking that picture with a subscriber earlier. Or you can give it to me now. And she was like, what? She just ignores me. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I was like, let's go, Fred. Like, I had my stuff at this point. I'm like, let's go, Fred. Like, I'm over this girl. Like, you're done with me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm over you. By the way, just to mention, no, I never told my manager to cut off her wristband. Like, obviously when I'm mad, I'm gonna say stuff, but I never really went to that extremes. I could have. I honestly could have, because the party that she had the wristband for was my management's party. It wasn't like an open YouTube party. It was my management party. So I could have done that, but I didn't. Later that night, we are at the YouTube party. Like I said, the YouTube party that my management hosted, and I see Selena, and at first I just like wasn't talking to her. I was ignoring her, but keep in mind, she's hanging out with all of my friends, so it's kind of hard to ignore her. Literally, when I say my friends, I'm saying they're my friends. I've been friends with these people for almost a year, some of them months, and Selena has just met them 2 weeks ago. She barely knows them, but that's all she knows, so she's obviously gonna hang out with them. So I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna put the beef aside for while we're at this party, but the moment we leave, I'm still not cool with you, you know what I mean? So I was acting chill, whatever, like we're talking, we're all dancing, we're all hanging out. By the way, while we're at this party, I peep that Selena has now chosen a different YouTuber to hang around with. She's like all flirty with him, he's dancing with her, he's bringing her drinks, she's just like in his ear the whole night, like, you know, they look like an item. If I was an outsider looking in, I would think that they were a couple. Later on that night, I tell Selena, like, do you want to come to the bathroom with me? So she was like, yeah. As we're in the bathroom and washing our hands, I proceed to tell her, you're a hoe. Probably not the best choice of words. Like I said, I pulled some wrongs and I shouldn't have called her a hoe, but that's what I told her. I'm just being honest. I told her, you're a hoe. And she goes, Chandler, what? Like, what? Like, what are you talking about? I said, Selena, you've literally been passed around the team from guy to guy to guy, like you're a water girl. Like, you've been passed around the team. Like, is that not coming to your head? Like, do you not see how you're looking? This is her reaction when I say this to her. Oh my gosh, Chandler, are you serious? No. And at this point, like, this girl just thinks it's so funny. Like, I don't know if she just wasn't straight in the head and didn't get what I was trying to say. But at this point, I'm just like, okay, I'm done with this girl. Like, I'm even trying to tell you as your friend, like, you're supposed to be my best friend, I can tell you anything, and I'm trying to tell you that you look like a hoe, but you're not even getting that to your, like, you think it's a joke. So I was like, whatever, I'm done, like, moving on back to my life, like, this is not going anywhere. After the party ends, everyone goes back to their hotel rooms. At least I go back to my hotel room.
Yeah.
Does Selena ever come? No. And she mentioned in a video that she did that it was because she felt like we were having beef and she didn't want to be the awkward one in the room, which I can understand that. So the next morning, I'm watching one of the YouTubers' vlogs and I'm reading the comments and I saw something that made me laugh. If you do your detective research, you can find this comment on this person's vlog. But someone commented, you're being passed around like a blunt at a party. That is exactly how I felt about someone. So I tweeted it and I put 100 with a laughing emoji. My Twitter is a space where I can say whatever the hell I wanted to say. It's my social media. If you read one of my tweets and you feel like the shoe fits and I didn't even mention your name, then I'm sorry you feel a certain way about one of my tweets, which I will admit my tweet was aimed towards Selena, but it did not have her name in it. So I could have been talking about anyone, to be honest. But like I said, I was throwing a little bit of shade, but no one, like none of the viewers would have known that I was talking about Selena. Only Selena would know I was talking about Selena because the shoe fit, you know what I mean? So I tweeted that, and then later that morning, I'm talking on the phone with one of my friends. Keep in mind, this phone call is not on speaker. I have it to my ear. I'm talking on the phone to my friend. So I know in their video, they try to say, oh, we heard her talking this, and that on the phone. Lies. Shalom is the only other person in the room, and she's packing up her stuff because her flight was for later that day. When Selena and A walk into the hotel room. When they came in, Selena was getting some of her things together, and A took a seat in the chair, and I was like, so where were you guys last night? Like, were you with mcqueen? I asked A if she was with mcqueen, because like I said, Selena had already said the day before that she figured that they were a thing, you know what I mean? So I asked her, like, were you with mcqueen? And she was like, no, like, I was not with mcqueen. Like, I have a boyfriend. She was like, mcqueen stayed in my hotel last night because he got locked out of his, but he slept on the couch. Like, nothing happened with us. Like, I have a boyfriend. Keep in mind, I did not know this girl had a boyfriend, but I did not care. Like, I did not talk to that girl that often, so I didn't care. I was just like, oh, okay, cool. Like, all right. They leave. Like I said, Selena did not take all of her stuff. She only took a few things. So after she leaves, I text her saying, are you going to split the cost with me for the extra night, or are you staying at Blank's again? Because I figured since A had told me that mcqueen stayed in her hotel room, that Selena hadn't stayed in there either. Selena stayed in mcqueen's hotel room, in his bed, or the bed next to his, who knows? So she responded saying, first, I stayed at A's, so you can dead that shit. And second, nah, I'll get my things in a little and stay somewhere else. She got an attitude when she texted me, so I'm just like, I don't want to see this girl later. Like, you can come get your stuff now. So I said, okay, you can get it now because I'm about to leave. She responds saying, I already left, so I'm going to get it later. At this point, I had talked to Shalom, and I had friends who were staying in a different hotel room, so I had planned on staying in their hotel room for the rest of the day because Shalom had to check out at 12. It was like 11:30 when these girls, let me actually look at the time on here. When I sent the first text, it was 11:42, so we had 15 minutes to get out. So I texted her saying, then come back. I don't care. I'm leaving in 30 minutes. She said, Chandler, I have a key. I'll get it later, and then I'll leave the key inside the hotel. I'm not coming back. I told her the key won't work. I'm not staying in this room. She said, why? I responded, Do you not understand what I'm saying? The fuck? With a laughing emoji. I said, how long until you're here? Because I don't know where to put your stuff when I leave. Keep in mind, we're packing all this stuff. It's time to go. She says, you don't need to touch my things. I'm on my way. She comes back about 10 minutes after sending that text, and she gets all her stuff, and she leaves. Just to clarify, that was the last time I saw Selena for the rest of the trip. So that day, I went back and forth of whether I was going to check out or not, because I had originally planned on leaving at 12, and I was going to go stay with my friends, which I ended up going and staying with them, but I had like gone back and forth of staying, so I actually told Shalom, like, I'm going to stay here actually for the night, and I'll just pay you the money for me to stay another night. So I took a nap, and then when I woke up, Shalom was leaving, and I was just in the hotel room by myself. So I'm on my phone just chilling because there's nothing to do. I'm just looking through my social media when I go onto my Twitter, and I'm getting tweets from you guys saying Selena and A are on Selena's live talking about you. Instantly, I'm fired up. I'm like, there's no way that this girl is on social media talking about me with a girl she just met 2 days ago, 3 days ago, when I'm the reason she's here. Like, she wouldn't even have met these people if I hadn't brought her with me to VidCon. So I'm like, let me go check this live out. So I watched the live, and it's Selena and A going on my Twitter, like reading my tweets, and I hear someone say, this bitch is really snapping, and I'm just like, who the hell are these people? Like, who the hell is talking about me, and why is Selena in a car talking about me? Like, I've done so much for you. Even if we're not friends anymore, the last thing you should be doing is talking about me with a group of people that you just met 3 days ago. Like, that shit's not cool to me, and that's what got me pissed. So now we're going to the juice. But what you guys don't know is, before I even had thought of the idea of going on Instagram Live, I decided to call up Selena because I'm like, I want to talk to you. Like, I want to hear why the hell my name is in your mouth and with a group of people on Instagram Live. She shouldn't be talking about me at all on any social media platform, because all of her social media has followers because of me. Like, you guys, it's my supporters. Like, I told my supporters, go follow Selena on social media. So she's basically talking to my supporters about me, and I'm like, I'm not cool with that shit. If we take all my supporters away from Selena and DDG's supporters away from Selena, Selena would be back at 3,000 followers on Instagram. So the fact that you have the potential of talking to 20K people that are not your actual independent followers is not cool with me. So I'm like, let me keep it mature. I call Selena. She sends me to a voicemail. I call her again. She declines. So at this point, I'm like, okay, so you want to play this little game. You want to decline my calls. Like, I'm trying to be mature right now and talk to you and see what the hell's up. Because when I have an issue with someone, I'll let it be known. Like, I let you know I don't like you if I don't like you. Or I'll let you know if I think something of you, I'm going to let you know I think this of you, like you guys have heard in the beginning of the story. I have no filter. I say what I got to say, and that's it. So I text her. I text her saying, you don't want to answer my calls, so you can watch live instead to hear what I have to say. And that's when I decided to go on Instagram, and I knew she would be watching. Of course she would be watching. But like I said before, I obviously said some things in my live that wasn't cool. I called her a hoe. I said she was hoeing around, going from YouTuber to YouTuber, sleeping around, which I mentioned before, use your imaginations. I was not lying, but I shouldn't have said those things on live, but I did want to clarify where it was coming from. I didn't just go on my Instagram live and just bash this girl for no reason. On top of that, I also mentioned Selena's family. Now, Selena made a video where she said I was talking shit about her family, which is not true whatsoever. On my Instagram live, I said, your dad will be disappointed in you because you're an embarrassment. Like, what you've been doing is embarrassing. Your family should disown you for after everything you've done, and they should be disappointed. The reason I said that was because the first week that things happened, Selena said she was going to go to church and pray. We had a phone call where Selena mentioned to me that her dad was disappointed in her. He didn't even want to look at her. He didn't want to talk to her. Like, that's what Selena told me. So that's why I said again in my Instagram live, after what he hears about what you've done again this weekend, which is even worse, he's just going to do it again. A few minutes after I get off of Instagram, I get a FaceTime call from an unknown number. I answer the phone call, and it is A. A calls me, and A is like, hey, Chandler. Calm at first. I'm like, hey, what's up? A proceeds to tell me, I heard from someone that you said when McQueen stayed in my hotel room that I got his dick wet. But I cut her off. I was like, no. I did not say that. I said, I honestly don't care what you're doing. Like, I haven't been paying attention to what you're doing. Like, I do not care about that kind of stuff. Like, I did not say it. I just let her know it was not me who said it. She proceeds to say, well, I feel like if you have something to say, you can say it to my face. And I said, good. Like, that's exactly how I am. If I have something to say, I'll say it to your face. But I'm the type of person where if I hear something, he said, she said, I'll go to the person, I'll ask them, is this what you said? If they say they didn't, then I'll go off of that. You said you didn't, then okay, moving on. Because we're not going to do the whole back and forth, well, you said this, well, you said that, because it's just not going to get anywhere, you know what I mean? So I said, yeah, if I have something to say, I'll definitely let you know what I have to say. But then this girl starts going off of me, y'all, like, well, I heard that you said this, and blah, blah, and I was like, I just told you I didn't say it. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, if you're gonna come to me and claim that I said something about you and I'm telling you I didn't, like, what more do you want me to do? You want me to get down on my knees and kiss your ass and kiss your feet? Like, I'm gonna stick to the bare minimal by telling you I didn't say it. But if you decide to believe what you believe, then that's you. I'm not gonna kiss anybody's ass to make them believe me. Just like with this video, I'm not gonna kiss nobody's ass to believe me. You either believe me or you don't. So she starts yelling, and at this point, I'm just like, I'm over this conversation, but I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna let you rant. She goes on to say, well, that's why McQueen and DDG don't fuck with you. They don't even like you. Like, they talk about you all the time. And I'm just like, okay, this is where the conversation has to end. Whether they like me or dislike me has nothing to do with you. If they don't like me, they can tell me. And if they don't want to tell me that they don't like me, but they want to talk about me to you, then they're fake for that. But like I said, I wasn't there, so we're doing the whole he said, she said. You're starting drama by trying to tell me that McQueen and Daryl don't like me. That's not your place. That has nothing to do with you. So, you know, what you're telling me is no relevance to me. She then starts yelling again, and eventually she hangs up the phone. Now, when I say she hangs up the phone, it was like mid-sentence. She didn't say no, bye, like the conversation's over, bye. It just mid-sentence hangs up. So I'm thinking either her phone died or she pressed the end button and just didn't finish the conversation. So I call her back, and it just doesn't go through the first time. Call her back a second time, and it doesn't go through. So at this point, I'm thinking her phone died, so I'm like, let me just text this girl. And the exact words that I texted her, because I know in her video, she tried to make it seem like I was the one yelling and going crazy. That is not true whatsoever. Like, you guys have seen me on YouNow when I get into arguments with people. I do not argue. Like, I don't yell. I just sit there and I'll just let you do what you gotta say, because I'm too grown to be arguing with you. So that's exactly what I said to her. I texted her saying, when you feel like having a mature combo, feel free to call me back. I'm too old to bicker. But I was not arguing with her. I just don't have time for that. Alright, so moving on. I'm chilling in my room when one of my friends comes up to the room and tells me there's a party in this hotel. Like, in the hotel I'm staying in. He's like, there's a party downstairs. So I go downstairs, and while I'm down there, I see McQueen. I walk up to McQueen, and I start talking to him like, whatever happened earlier, because like I said, he was mad. He still thinks I'm fake. He still thinks blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, you know what, we're going to have our own opinions on the situation and agree to disagree, because I'm not trying to stay mad at you. Like, I'm not even mad at you. I'm not trying to have no beef with you, though, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, we're supposed to be friends. I don't have time for this. And he then proceeds to tell me, like, nah, Chandler, like, I still think you're fake for this, blah, 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 blah. And as he's talking, I was like, well, McQueen, you're calling me fake, but I'm going to tell you what I heard, and you can tell me if it's true or not, and we can go from there. I heard from A that you said you don't like me and you don't fuck with me. Is that true? McQueen proceeds to tell me, no, I never said that. Like, that's not true. Those words never came out of my mouth. Like, maybe A peeped how I was feeling, because I really felt like the way I was acting was like, I don't fuck with you. But I never said I don't fuck with you. So I'm like, all right, so I'm going to take your word for it. Moving on. Like, okay, now I see this girl just likes to lie. Like, she spreads lies about people to try and get them to not be friends with each other. All right, whatever. I don't care about the situation anymore. I'm gonna move on with my life. Me and McQueen decided we're gonna agree to disagree on the situation, because we weren't seeing eye to eye on that, and sometimes that's just how things are. So later that night, I leave my hotel and I go stay at the hotel with my friend, and I'm just there for the night. The next morning, I book an Uber, because I drove down to VidCon with Selena in Selena's car, so her car was there. I didn't have my car, so I got my ass in an $80 Uber, and I Ubered myself to my house. Now, when I get to my house, it's literally like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I get to the door and I realize I don't have my keys. My keys are in Selena's car. I put them in her glove. Those are my car keys. Both of my house keys are in Selena's car, because I have one pair of keys to my house, and then Selena had a backup pair of keys in case I ever like lost my key. I could just call Selena and be like, hey, you have the other key, can I have it to get into my house? So she had all my keys to anything, to my car, to my house, all of it. I couldn't even call like my office for them to let me into my house, because like I said, they're closed. It's Sunday. Nothing is open on a Sunday, you know what I mean? So I texted Selena and I said to her, you have my car keys in your car. Please drop them off at my house on your way home. She then responded, that's out of my way, and I cleaned my car out and didn't see them, but I'll look again. My issue with this message was the part where she says, I'm out of her way. My house is on the way to Selena's house. Like, no matter what freeway she takes, there's going to be an exit that says my city, that she can go to my house, you know what I mean? So there's no way that my house is out of your way. Like, obviously it's out of your way because you have to get off the freeway to drive to my house, but other than that, it's on the way to your house no matter what. To say that my house is out of your way when I need my keys back is just mind-blowing to me. I responded, they're in your glove department and I don't care. I said, your stuff is at my house anyways, which you need to take, which is true. I said, or you can send me your address and I will have my mom come get them. but I don't think you really want to piss her off just because it's out of your way. Long story short, I ended up staying in a hotel room that day and night. My mom ended up texting Selena threatening to sue her if she did not bring me my keys, because the keys are actually my mom's car. Like, it's my mom's car. It's under my mom's name, so that's my mom's property. So she said she would sue because Selena has our property, which is my keys. And that's when Selena agreed to meet us halfway at this place, and we met up and she gave me my keys. So that's the story, but now I'm going to clarify a few things that I have seen in these videos and heard in these videos. So the first thing was that Selena was talking about how my family kicked me out, and when I had nowhere to stay, I stayed with Selena's family. I stayed with her mom, I stayed with her dad, which is true. However, what Selena failed to mention is that when Selena's mom called the cops on Selena and the cops came looking for Selena at her house, she drove to my apartment and stayed at my apartment for a couple days. And also, when Selena's stepmom and dad kicked Selena out of her house at one point this year, she came and stayed at my apartment as well. So it's just funny to me how Selena tries to make it seem like we don't help each other, because at the end of the day, we were friends, so we helped each other. It wasn't just a you helped me or your family helped me, because you live with your parents. You don't live on your own, so it was your family helping me, not you helping me. And like I said, I never bashed her family in any way. It's like, if you're gonna tell the stories about our families kicking us out, we've both been kicked out of our house, girl. Like, don't just tell my story, don't just tell my truth, tell your truth as well, because I mean, you're really looking stupid when I have to come out here and tell your truth for you. Like, tell your own truth, just like I do all the time. Alright guys, I'm editing this video and I realized I forgot to mention something, so I'm gonna throw it in right now. A lot of you guys believe that I was so-and-so called jealous of Selena, which is why I started beef with her in the first place, which is so false. A lot of you guys are like, oh, you're just mad because McQueen wanted Selena and Daryl wanted Selena. I have never wanted McQueen. I've never wanted Daryl as anything more than friends, you guys. Like, what you see, obviously there's entertainment for Daryl's videos, but behind the camera, I never wanted either of them. If I did want them, there's been times where they flirted with me. I will insert the clips. Daryl, look at all that spit I saw.
I just see ass. I don't really see.
Boy.
Chandler, Alexis need to suck me up, nigga.
So obviously, as you guys know, like, I've had a chance. If I wanted a chance with these boys, I could have had it back then. But we are just friends now, and they know that I'm just friends. I don't want to be anything more with either of them. Like, at the end of the day, these boys are boys. If I'm not gonna hook up, they're gonna replace me 2 seconds later. I'm just gonna find someone else who will, and that's not my fault. I'm not mad that they did find someone who would hook up with them. Leave it at that. I'm not jealous of Selena. Never have been. Never will. I'm not meaning this in a cocky way at all, but if you look at my lifestyle and how I'm living, I'm not jealous of anyone. Like, I'm living a pretty nice lifestyle for me and what I'm doing. I like what I'm doing. I like having to earn my way to the top. I'm not jealous of anyone. I'm perfectly fine with my life and how I'm living. Nothing to be jealous of, if you know what I mean. The next thing I have to point out is that now that we're not friends, Selena wants to say I'm an ugly person, I'm mean, I'm a bully, blah blah blah, all this stuff that she wants to say now, which is mind-blowing to me as well, because we've been friends for 7 years. If you really felt like I was mean and a bully, you would have seen it within the 7 years, not within the past couple days, you know what I mean? Like, I have not gone on any social media and been like, Selena's such a rude person, Selena's such a bully, Selena's so mean, she's ugly inside, because no, that's not how it was. You just ended up having hoe antics, and I just didn't want to deal with that. Like, that's just not my style. That's why I stopped being friends with you. But don't go on social media and say that I'm a mean person, I'm a bully, because if that was true, you would have peeped it sometime within 7 years, you know what I mean? I also feel like if I was such a mean person, I wouldn't have helped Selena get so far on social media. Like, if it weren't for me, this is just being honest, not being cocky, not throwing no shade or nothing. Like, if it were not for me, no one in the world besides the people she meets personally would know who Selena is, unless one day she decided to do YouTube and she was popping on her own. But if we're talking about right now, how many people know Selena? It's because of me. No, like, she wouldn't have met Daryl to even be in his vlogs if it weren't for me. She wouldn't have been at VidCon if it weren't for me. She wouldn't have met A and McQueen and everyone else in the crew if it weren't for me. And that's what I meant when I said on social media, like, she would have been nothing without me, because it's true. When you think about it down to the point, it is true. She would not have been known if it weren't for me. If I'm such a mean person, I don't know why I helped you get so far in social media. Like, that's such a mean thing for me to do, you know what I mean? I set up Selena's YouTube account. I did her banner. I edited some of her videos. I did her intro, which she still continues to use. I did all these things for Selena. I even bought the watch that she was wearing, that nice Michael Kors rose gold watch that you wore in the video to bash my name. I bought that. It's like, I've done so many things for you. The last thing you can say is that I'm a mean person, I'm a bully. So miss me with that shit. At the end of the day, guys, I want you to see this, and I want you to notice this. I'm already at 400,000, almost 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. I don't need to start lies and rumors to try and get more clout. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to do that. Whereas someone who only has 30,000 or 40,000 subscribers from me and other people, they're gonna have to do something to keep their name relevant. And I hope you guys can see that. People will spread lies about you, people will start rumors about you just to keep their name relevant. Doesn't mean everything you hear is true. But I hope this video helped clarify everything. Before I go though, I do want to make another apology, but this is mainly to you guys, the Chan fam supporters. I want to say I am sorry for the way I did react to all this drama. I obviously should have chosen a better way to react to it, because I know a lot of you guys look up to me and I'm supposed to be a public role model, and what I did on Instagram was not cool. It wasn't funny, and it was very childish and immature, and that's not the kind of example I want to set for you guys. So I am going to work on that. You know, I am a human being, I make mistakes, but I am going to take those mistakes and grow and learn from them. So I'm going to try to be better. I'm going to try to do better.
It was just a lot, man. That's that LA stuff, man, or California to be in general. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully this all gets resolved, because at the end of the day, nobody likes drama, man. We all like to just sit back and grind and get it, man.